Every time we chill, we hang out, as cousins and everybody, they hang out, family gatherings, it doesn't matter. But we always have that one time where, well, let's all go chill over there. And then we'll go to a certain spot. And then each of us will have an instrument and we're just flowing. And we're learning from each other, freestyling, we're just learning from each other. And, and I believe that I love what we did because we didn't just keep what we know. As I didn't just keep what I know in my own, but we share with each other. We share the knowledge and what things that I know she might not know, and things that she know I might not know, so we start sharing with each other and stuff like that. So
Hey there, music lovers. Welcome to Why Music Matters, a podcast where we examine the power and influence that music can wield in our lives. I'm your host, Jeff Myers. Let's start today's podcast with a little anecdote. The text from my friend Jennifer Brazil, president of the Borderland Festival, arrived about 18 months back. Are you interested in producing, mixing, and mastering an album for a reggae-based band from Micronesia through a grant from National Geographic? She asked. Well, hell yes, I'm interested. Details? Thus began a journey that culminated in a performance at the Borderland Festival on Saturday, September 13th. When founding members of the band Ulithian Vibes traveled from Guam and Hawaii to Western New York to be joined by a cast of Buffalo musicians for their first international public performance. It was immediately following this performance at Borderland that today's podcast was recorded. During this episode, you'll hear Jerry, Connor, and Kira, three of the singers who formed the Ulithian Vibes collective, along with manager and project coordinator Samantha Stallenwerk, who traveled from Germany to oversee the band's visit to Buffalo, discuss the way their group formed as a means of preserving the culture and traditions of the island of Ulithi for future generations through a marriage of music and storytelling. We also discussed the Ulithian Vibes album. You can find that album, which you're hearing excerpts from in the background right now, wherever you stream music. I hope you'll get a sense of why I fell in love with this band's story and its music, and how much being involved in this project has meant to me and to my colleagues as well. I have a feeling you'll fall in love with it too. Welcome to Why Music Matters, Ulithian Vibes.
For the one Hey everybody, welcome to a very special edition of Why Music Matters. We are here at the Borderland Festival 2025 edition. Today's a day I'm never going to forget, and that's because my friends from Ulithian Vibes made the journey from around the world to be here with us, and we just got finished performing your first time in the States here. This is a project that means an awful lot to me, but we'll get into that. I'd like to begin by introducing you to Jerry, Kira, and Connor. They are the singers that are part of this big collective known as Ulithian Vibes from the Ulithian Atoll in Micronesia. There's a lot to this story, and it was a long road that brought all of us together. Our friend Samantha is also here, who was pivotal in making this project come to fruition and getting these guys here. Sorry, I'm all vibed up because we just played this music that means the world to me, and people really responded beautifully to it. I'm honored to have them here. Jerry, why don't we start with you? Tell us a little bit about the genesis of Ulithian Vibes, these songs that became the album, which, by the way, is out now, Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music, everywhere. But let's talk about how this started, just in general, and then we'll get into the meaning behind the songs.
Yeah, so first of all, I just want to be, just want to say like how grateful we are on behalf, of Ulithian Vibe, how grateful we are to, be invited to be part of this festival. Thankful for Samantha, Jennifer.
We do have to give a shout out to Jennifer Brazil, the co-creator and president of this
exactly
incredible festival.
For Jennifer Brazil, like I said, it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for her as well. And with that, we'll talk about like how the album became to be. I also want to thank One People, One Reef.
Yeah.
Because like it's actually like it's the team that get that album even started. With the funding. The grants from National Geography. It was all them that applied for the grant.
Hook us all up together.
Yeah, exactly. And it's Nicole's connection through Samantha, which is their friends that came to fruition. So and with that said, so Ulithian Vibes in our songs. It's kind of hard because Jeff, we're all over it, even though we're here in the States. It's kind of hard because I am here, which is I have the studio with me, and then Darwin and them in Guam, Connor, and then Kira and them are in Hawaii. So go back and forth where I can't read music, so the way I write songs is I need like a beat or something like that, and then I'll like feel the vibe, and then from there I can write my message flowing with that beat that I created, or Darwin or Kyle, and then we'll send it over, and I'll just go from there. I have to feel the vibe. I cannot just write out of like maybe pick up a guitar or something like that. I have to hear the beat, bass, and everything to put some emotion into my songwritings.
So you start with rhythm, always. Yeah.
And so we've been talking with Chan Rumal, who was co-founder, and Nicole Crane, about how to reach out to the new generations, with not only storytelling of our traditions and way of life, indigenous traditions, cultures, but also with global warming, spreading the awareness of global warming, because food resources, especially on the reefs, is like vital to our lives on the island. So
in the Ulithian Atoll, obviously the culture, as well as the entire food supply, like your way of life, is built around this reef. And I'm going to put words in your mouth if I'm wrong. Tell me. The desire here was to talk about how global warming, man's inability to do right by Mother Earth over the long term, has had a negative impact, and with that has come a threat to the culture, and the desire on your part for that culture to be preserved and passed on to new generations. So the album and all of your music is really about that, right? It's really significant to preserve this culture, and also the way that you guys have employed some of the tropes of reggae that we all know, but added this distinct flavor that is your own to it, is part of the way that you want to reach young people, right? And can you talk about that, Khan or Kira or Jerry, whoever would like to? Can you talk about how important it's been to put your own stamp in your own culture's slant on reggae music in general?
Yeah, I'll say something, and then if you guys want to add, then I'll be it. So like with the island reggae, because that's kind of like growing up with Fiji, example, Maoli. So that's like a big influence in our like music journey. And then between because like I said, like with the chant, and so we gotta balance out where it's not too with the influence of just
reggae. Traditional, right?
Yeah. So and traditional, because we want to also, like I said, the message is to get it, not only get the message out there to the world, in a world stage, but also because a lot of our songs is some of the language that's washing away, or no longer used nowadays, but we want to incorporate in our songs, so that if they're in curiosity, where they're asking oh, what is this word that I'm skanking along to it, or singing along to it, they'll start, instead of just forcing them to read about their culture, their language, or in school or whatever, but it's something that they love listening
if you know
to,
your history, you know where you're coming from.
Music, speaks to the whole world, right? Yeah, so not only that, but there's also the storytelling part of the grant that we incorporate in our songs, because in our stories, it's more than just a story that you tell the grandparents tell your kid, so they go to sleep. The stories is actually it's like medical, but there's it's knowledge in the story. So that's how you taught your younglings at a very young age, by telling them stories, and once they grew up through life, they understand, oh, that's why it mentioned about not fishing in this area or whatever, in that sense. So it makes sense to them. It's almost like storytelling, but it's really teaching them our way of life, cultures, and things in life. So you guys want to add to that?
Samantha, can you talk a little bit about how we all ended up, becoming friends and now family, I think?
Yeah, exactly.
And One People, One Reef, and the National Geographic grant.
Yeah.
And also your lifelong friend with one of the people that we love the most in the whole world,
We're all here.
Jen Brazil. Yeah.
Well, that started, I was a singer-songwriter, I guess it would be over 20 years ago, and we met in San Francisco. So we worked together up the rungs of the music industry ladder, and it's amazing what she's created, to see this now. But when we were working together, it was like you make your CD and you're selling it out of the back of your car.
Exactly.
After your gig, there was no Spotify or even Apple downloads at the time. There were major record label gigs or not, and we kind of together as two females in the industry. There was not a lot of women at that time, especially who were indie artists who were making it happen. It's a completely different world now, and what she was able to kind of manifest for me as an artist. And you know, we were signed to the Dave Matthews Management crew, and opening up for the likes of, you know, Ziggy Marley, G Love and Special Sauce, and really going on tour. I mean, this day and age, I would have never had that opportunity.
No.
We were really at this kind of, I think, pre-streaming time period where it was a special time in music as well. It was really transformative during that time, and we saw a lot of changes after that. And so it was an honor to have worked with her during that time, and to have seen her blossom. She always was a visionary.
Totally.
I mean, it was a hard road for us because being two ladies trying to figure it out on the fly, but she always had this larger vision, and obviously she has realized it here. So I couldn't be more proud and honored to be her friend, honestly. And of course, through this project that I brought to her, because by means of traveling and being able to experience the world through travel, my husband happens to be a photographer, I was able to come to the islands, and see, when you think like each island or area of island or island inlets or atolls, each of them possess their own special culture, their own special wisdom, their special stories, music, like clothing style. I mean, you think, okay, we're going to the islands, there's a beach and there's some palm trees, and that's all you're getting. But it's so much more diverse and varied than that. And that's really where I said, this is a place I would love to bring my family to spend more time on. It's because it's more exciting and adventurous than, I don't know, climbing the Alps or whatever.
Yeah.
Because you were coming across, like, it's a 20-minute plane ride to Pompeii, but Pompeii is completely different than Yap, than Cosray, and these are all but they're all part of an area.
It's really a 20-minute plane ride.
They're all, and you have to bounce back and forth. And so
that's
I spent plenty of time doing
wow.
that. And that's kind of how I tapped in and learned about where you guys are from. And of course, meeting through other working, channels, Nicole, who is the head of she's a high level, well-respected, critically acclaimed marine biologist.
Yes.
And she is doing so much work to help preserve, our ocean planet. And if you think about it, the majority of our planet is ocean, and we're living on land, but you guys are in the center of it. And these are the things that we're neglecting. We're completely ignoring the fact that this is all happening. You guys are on the front lines, and you see that day to day. I mean, they're not only ocean rising, there's the bleaching of corals. This is gonna, there's acidification, there's fishing loss, with agreements of other foreign nations that are coming in. It's a lot of things are happening where you guys feel it before we all feel it. And that hit me in my heart when I was down there. Yeah. So to be able to connect from an environmental aspect, but the fact that Nicole saw that I had done music in my past, and she says the thing that everybody needs, though, is not more information about the science aspect, but they need music. They need hope, and they need music. The kids need music. I said, that's awesome. I'm like, well, let's do something. I can write some songs, or we can put some stuff together and connect it, and whatever. I'll support you in whatever way you want. So that started the journey of this beautiful. They'd made the record. They had the band. They had the following. It was just me kind of pushing it along and connecting with you, with Jennifer. What's the next steps that we can take to make this really, really, really blossom? And I can't even believe what I saw today. I know it because I know how talented you are. It just goes without saying, but to bring all of these musicians together to play like you've been playing your entire lives, with the blend of like your incredible songwriting and harmonies, it was so good. Wow. So anyway, I think we've completely realized it, and what I would love to see is to do more. Like,
yes.
Where else can we take it?
I think we're all feeling that.
Yeah. So kudos to you all, really, honestly. Everybody was so impressed, loving it. I think it's touched a heart, and thanks for facilitating it, Jeff. You are incredible. Incredible.
Well, I'd like to talk specifically if we could just pick one of the songs and maybe any or all of you could comment it. The Morn of Sorrow, which is
One of my favorites.
a profoundly beautiful and moving piece of music, but the lyric is also a history lesson that I think I would like people here to hear a little bit about. They might not realize what happened in World War II. They might not realize. I think at this time in history, especially in this country right now, it's important for us to have perspective, to realize that we are part of a global ecology, and that we're sharing this planet, that we're not living separate from it. And there's a lot that's happened in all of our names that has done some bad. And I think the first step to rectifying these things is for people to know, and I think a lot of people don't know. But the particular history that's discussed in that song.
Yeah, so it's a chant, but it really is still being sung today. But it's like they sung it with the dance.
Yes.
Like a woman's dance on the islands. So they would sing that and then they dance. But so I just said it's chant because I turned it into a chant where it's like in the form of like a 2 days chant. Like if you listen to Fiji, he has his own version of like a chant.
Yes.
But like really like if you listen to the track Tangalahafoy, you'll hear that's how at the very beginning where my auntie was singing, that's how it goes with their dances. But like I turned it into I made it into a song form where it has a chorus, it's a chant.
So powerful.
But the chant is actually part of like a part of it. It's just a continuous like a song form or whatever, a chant. And then me and Maul were talking back and forth. I was like, hey, but like for that the kids are not gonna be if we just do it the way that like the ladies are doing. So we gotta like meet them where they
where they live. Right.
So so Magula actually, because like I said, it's hard for me to translate. The thing has to be like elder but good thing that Magula is like very educated with the language.
Yes.
Some of the words that we're not using anymore. So he actually translated that, and then I composed it in a song form. Well, I kind of like tweak here and there, but I didn't want to change it so much that it'll like go away. Drift away from like as much meaning of the the words that from our grandparents, our elders. Like I didn't want to throw it out too far from the meaning. So that in itself is like put a little pressure on us to like make sure that we got the message right, because like I said, it's really the cry of like the cry of our grandparents.
Yes.
Really like this that during World War II.
Well, this is separated from our children.
Yeah,
This
can you
is
imagine
powerful.
being? It's not like where you have a bunker, because you're like literally on a sandy bar. Yeah, like how are you gonna protect you from dropping bombs and all that? It's just so that's how it came to be with the song. So powerful that I feel like a good pressure in a way. Like I said, we're so thankful that we got here and share our music. Not only that, but like I said, we're not only representing ourselves, but it's a whole nation on our back. Like the island people, Micronesia, Pacific Islanders.
I hope the island people would be proud of what everyone
I'm
brought
pretty sure
today.
they are. I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah. Regardless, I'm so thankful that even if like some are not supporting us, in that time being or whatever, I'm just grateful that I'm representing my island people, and just goosebumps and bring tears to my eyes.
Yeah, me too.
Con, I wanted to ask you and Kira actually. I remember the first night at rehearsal when you started to sing. All the musicians I'd assembled who are my dear friends and beautiful musicians. and we really did put together some of the best in Buffalo for you guys. As soon as you started to sing, everyone, whoa, like Damon's like, whoa, and we're all looking at each other. I mean, I knew, but to hear it live in person was so moving, and the way your voices blend together is such a beautiful thing. But for you, there's so much soulfulness, what I would call R&B soulfulness in the way that you sing. I was just curious about who did you listen to? How did you know to sing like that?
Yeah. I mean, growing up, there's a lot of singers that I listened to when I was little. Mario, which is one of our members in the band. Mario Dolmine. He actually he came back from Guam, and then he wanted to record the islands, the island kids, a group of the islands, the kids from the islands. Yeah, so all the people that they love music, they want to record a song, and then they come to him and he would record them. And I was a little baby, I was running around and I saw them, they were recording, and I was like, wow,
That's so cool.
Yeah, they're recording, they're actually making songs, like the songs we listen to, they're recording it right now. And so I went there and I would listen, and and at that time I didn't have no tune, I don't know how to control my voice or play any instrument. So and then so it was just stuck with me, like, oh, okay, I want to do that one day. Yeah, I want to record. I want to do music for fun, for a living. I just want to do it. I just want to put my hands into it and get to know more about it. Yeah, and so growing up, so we moved from the islands, and I would go down to the church, the choir, and then they would play guitar, and I watched them, and and the tune they're hitting and everything. I'll go home, and then and my older brother had a ukulele that came from Guam too. So I would go in there and find my key and try to remember the one that I heard, the key that I heard from the church.
Yeah.
And then so, long story short, I just back and forth started learning, and I moved to Hawaii, and then my uncle found out that I love music, so he put me into ukulele class, right? And then I was in ukulele class, and then but I mean, the singing wise, I don't know, it just came to me. I just love singing. I mean, everything I do, I sing, singing in the shower, and washing the dishes, I'm singing, and little by little, I just start learning runs, and shout out to Tone 6, Tone 6 from the Polynesia. I was listening to them, and then I was in Hawaii, I was going through, scrolling through Instagram and everything. I came upon Tone 6, you probably heard about Tone 6, and I heard them singing, and I said, oh, I want to do that. And I kept watching their videos, and they were hitting, the how they shake their voice and everything. Yeah, and then I wanted to do that, and then I kept listening to Sylvester Tuma, and then one of the band members in the vocalist in Tone 6. So I was listening to him, and listening to Fiji, and all these local artists and everybody that's up there. I also wanted to listen to Chris Brown, and all those people, and I just, all the songs that I hear, I would go home and just on my own, and with family too. Everybody in my family, they sing.
Well, this is,
and so
now you're getting at it.
So
music is such a part of your culture, right?
I mean, we love it. We love music. Music is I believe is a medicine to me. I believe it's a medicine to my people. And
I think it's a medicine to the world.
Oh yes, to the world, yes. And I believe everybody can feel, through music and through singing. What's a better way than for you to sing your feelings out for your island, representing the people that where you came from. And I mean, I just love it. I just love singing every day. I love it though. And it's beautiful. And I'm not planning on quitting singing anytime soon.
The world just breathed a sigh of relief. We need you.
I mean, so, yeah. I hope I answered your question. I hope
you absolutely answered my question.
I just want to add something to that.
Yes, of course.
I just want to emphasize on Connor, he is the what, Justin Bieber
Yeah.
of Micronesia.
But well, Justin Bieber can sit down.
Oh, but yeah. So but not only that, but you can see that so we incorporate him in a lot of songs. A good example is what is that song? Warrior.
Yeah.
So I wrote that song.
Oh my God, such a good
I wrote that song Warrior, and then I I kind of like laid down on the track and then sent it back, and I told him like, hey, you guys find your parts, but I'm not really sure. I still have to change the chorus because I didn't like how but Darwin called me back the next day. He goes, I think we should keep the the flow of the chorus.
Yeah.
Just hear it out.
Well,
And then
with
and then I heard how he
so awesome.
flows the Warrior. I'm like, all right, never mind. We're keeping it. So we ended up flowing, but I was gonna change the whole thing. I'm like, I didn't like how I did a chorus. Just change it out. But he came in and do his thing, and I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm sold. But yeah, Kira.
Yeah, Kara, do you live?
Yeah, I don't know.
How did you start singing?
I basically the same.
Yeah.
I grew up with it. I mean, I was born and raised out in Hawaii, so Fiji, of course. He's like very well known, and he's plays a big part. Whether we're at the beach, whether we're at home, anywhere in the car, we hear him on the radio. So, he's always been a big influence. And there's all kinds of Hawaiian bands and like Kapena and all these kinds of Maoli now. There's a lot, and just seeing that they can do that.
Yeah.
Like as Polynesians, and I feel like in a way I'm Polynesian. I was born and raised, I ate the fruits of that land, so it's like but at the same time my parents instilled Micronesia into me.
Yeah.
So it's like I also had that. They brought me back home, so I seen it and I seen the people. I fell in love,
So it's
I'm
always
like, oh,
home to you.
yeah. I was like, oh, this is my home. Like even though I didn't grow up there, but this is where my parents, this is where they ate their fruit from. And then, always grateful to my parents, So it's just like, they're passing it down to me. I mean, on my mom's side of the family, they're very, they sing a lot. Yeah, so for singing, it would be from my mom's side, and then my dad's side is more of the writers, composers,
Yeah.
and emotional, they feel it, and they know how to get word out. They're so I guess but me, when I was growing up, I guess I would say I fell in love with the production of music. So the first music, like anything musical that I've ever done, the first thing I've ever done was play a one-string guitar. Like, because my uncles, they just have guitars all over the house, and it's just only one string. And I would find, I would try to make a song with that one string, and then I just, I was like, I want something else. I want another string, When I come back, there's another string, there's another, until, I just found it. And then for any instrument, I was basically self-taught. Yeah, so it's like, and not only self-taught, I watched my cousins, my older brothers, they play. So I watched them and they sing, and I watched them and I was like, they're the ones I want to be like, because, and like my older brothers, they made me feel, like this is our family, this is what we do as a family. And I just love family, family just made me who I am today. And yeah, culture is always, infused into everything that we do. I feel like culture is just our identity.
Yeah.
When without culture, what are we, right?
What are we?
It's like, yeah, who are we?
Why
Right?
are we?
Yeah, that's So it's like, going on after, it's like, that's the goal, right? To push the culture, keep it. And also like, say it in a way that everybody now, today, will understand it,
Feel it.
Yeah, feel it, whether it's taking something from that song and this song, putting everything together. Then you won't only just stick to one audience. You get everybody, just like what we did here. And I feel it. I felt it today. So yeah, I'm very grateful. Yeah.
I want to add something too.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Actually, when I moved to Hawaii, I would go to school, and we went to the same school. So we would go to school, and my teacher, my ukulele teacher, is her ukulele teacher. So when we go home and everything, and and she would have performance, because they would go, the higher classmates and stuff, they would go perform at the hotels or whatever, and we would go watch, and then she was leading and everything. I remember everything. I was watching her. She was leading on with the whole weekly class and everything. But she played a part in my life where we every time we chill, we hang out, as cousins and everybody. They hang out, family gatherings. It doesn't matter, but we always have that one time where, let's all go chill over there, and then we'll go to a certain certain spot, and then each of us will have an instrument, and we're just flowing, and we're learning from each other, freestyling. We're just learning from each other, and and I believe that I love what we did, because we didn't just keep what we know. I didn't just keep what I know in my own, but we share with each other. We share the knowledge, and what things that I know she might not know, and things that she know I might not know, so we start sharing with each other and stuff like that. So big up to Key, because she growing up in Hawaii, she was there. She was teaching me how to all that revs on the guitar and everything, and how to harmonize and everything.
Amazing.
Key, shout out Nene, our sister in Hawaii, where she didn't make it, but she would be here if she's able to. But big up to everybody.
Well, you're representing.
I love everybody.
You're representing all of them by being here.
We are representing you. Yes.
Well, I'm gonna get all emotional, but the gratitude is difficult to express, to bring what you brought here to us, to see it, mingle and intermingle with what we have here in Buffalo, which is a strong musical culture. And I think, through meeting all my friends and they're now your friends too, we all have each other's back here. And there is that sense of family and togetherness here in this musical community. And I think, and I know actually from talking to all of them, they were so moved by what you bring and how clear and what an honest and beautiful place it comes. So speaking for all of them, we're grateful. And I think for all the people in the crowd today too, because I saw a lot of beaming faces, happy faces.
We're beyond thankful for you guys. Yeah. Thank you to all of you guys.
Yeah, I just want to add, just like you said, but on our side, very thankful, because if you didn't come in, because obviously our backup band, Youth in 5 back there weren't gonna come, and then you offered, if you could put your own guys together, would be I was just I'm not gonna back down for anything, and I'm so thankful that it worked out this way, beyond words. Truly blessed, to have that opportunity to come out here. So
the start of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah. It's true.
What do you say, Borderland 2026, and maybe something before then?
Yeah.
We're looking at the main stage.
We'll come to you next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How about Island Tour?
Yeah, exactly.
Island Tour.
Who knows? But in the meantime, please listen to the album, Lithium Vibes, One People, One Reef. I just would recommend it to you if you're, a fan of music that has depth and a deep history to it. And you can find it again on Spotify or wherever you stream your music. And maybe someday we'll put it out on vinyl, you guys. Who knows? We can dream.
Amen.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving so much to all of us. And,
thank you, Buffalo. Thank you for having us.
Buffalo, we love you. Yes.
Today's episode of Why Music Matters is brought to you by 42 North Brewing Company. 42 North believes in listening locally and drinking locally. If you're out at a live music venue, ask for 42 North. And if you're a venue owner, you might want to think about adding 42 North to your lineup of taps. And maybe I'll see you out there at a gig. If so, maybe I'll buy you a 42 North Borderland or a Day Trucker. First one's on me.